Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Today I just wanted to pop in here and share with you a little sequence that you can use whenever you find yourself struggling to fall asleep. What usually happens is that we're very hyper and excited and even inflamed from the lifestyle that we live, and also the social life that we cultivate all around us is always about being 100% at all times, and is ultimately not sustainable. So we need to also take the time to look in, to calm the nervous system down, and to invest into the rest and digest energy. And ultimately, this is what this little flow will help you to do, because more than being about the poses is how you do your practice. So it's the pace you use. What I am more interested in is for you to respect your own body pace, tune into your breath, and flow with your breath. So to start with, you can come up into a standing position. Just feel some groundedness underneath your feet. If you need to lift your toes and ground back down, feel free to do so. We're not looking to find such straight line with the body. We're looking to find ease and comfortableness inside of our body. So we'll just start with a few breaths, allowing for both hands to come on your lower belly, and then breathing through the belly. And releasing everything else. And we'll just do two more where you press your belly into your hands on your inhale. And release. Nice, one last time. Belly breath, belly forward. And release. Keeping the awareness onto the lower belly, you can release the arms alongside body. And once again, breathe in through the belly, and this time allow for your shoulders to lift. And with no engagement, with no control, release. Allow the shoulders to drop. And we'll do this for 4 more times. So inhaling, shoulder lifts, and release. Exhaling through the mouth. For 3, inhale out. Exhale, mouth. For 2 more times. And one last time. Going just a little bit higher up, extending the spine up. And release. Nice. Allow your head to come in direction of your chin. Feel the space in between the feet that is comfortable, that it feels supported. And you're going to unroll your vertebrae after one another, allowing for all the upper body to come rolling down. And when you find this position, when you're bent into 2, just allow for the weight of the body to shift from the heels into the toes, from the toes onto your heels, and see if maybe I can find the perfect balance in between toes and heels to just stay there in an unmoving position. And when you do, micro-bending the knees, allowing for the hips to look up, and you can, if you want, just grab opposite elbows and release the weight of the elbows and the head in direction of the floor. You're slowly going to allow your upper body to bring you to the right and to the left. This doesn't mean that I'm moving my hips. I'm not moving my hips. My lower back is unmoving. But my upper body is slowly taking me from right to left and from left to right. In your own time, coming back into an unmoving position, releasing the weight of the hands down. If you're not already on top of your mat, feel free to come to the top of your mat. And we're going to bend both knees, step back with the left leg, and allow for the left knee to come down. If your knee is sensitive, feel free to use a blanket here. Using the tip of my fingers, I'm going to allow for my hips to shift forward, for my right knee to come forward. You want to keep your right knee in line with your right ankle, and just allowing the weight of the hips to fall down. Stand here for 2 breaths. Last breath. Next inhale, coming back up with your hips and allowing for the palm of the hands to come back down. Right knee comes next to the left knee and allowing for the upper body to come back onto the stomach. Nice. Once you have this position, allowing for the elbows to open to the side, for the hands to come on top of one another, creating a little cushion for my head, and then allowing for the heels to look in and the toes to point out. So maybe you want to start with opening your heels to the width of your mat, and if you can easily release the heels down, feel free to bring your heels a little bit closer to one another until maybe they touch, if this is still easy for you, depending on your openness in your hips. And we're gonna just tune once again into your breath, releasing the weight of the shoulders down, releasing all sense of responsibility that we have going on for yourself, and tuning into the lumbar spine. And within each of your inhales, just placing your attention onto your lower back and breathing through this space. It's almost the same thing as if you were to bring your attention onto your lower belly, allowing for the air to descend on your inhale all the way down into your belly. Stand here for 2 more breaths, taking the time to release any sense or desire of control and engagement. And in your own time, allowing for your toes to look back, bringing back both knees in line with your hips, and opening elbows to the side, both hands next to the shoulders, pressing yourselves back up into our child's pose. If you cannot reach your child pose with your head, the floor with your head, you can always use a support to support your head. If your knees are actually what is causing your problem here, you can also support your hips with a prop, or even roll your blanket and place it right behind your knees. This will help. Stand here for just 5 breaths. Feel free to keep the hands either in front of you or to the back alongside body, and placing the forehead either on your mat or on the block, and feel if you can bring your awareness onto your forehead, releasing all desire of control, all need of being or doing something, but just stand present to right now. Making sure that you open your elbows wide enough, if you chose to keep your arms in front of you, to release the sensation of engagement in the trapeze and into the neck. And my invitation here is to tune into your breath, to not invest into your thoughts. So just like a sky, imagining that your thoughts are simply clouds, and the sky can be cloudy or it can be without clouds, but the clouds just keep on passing. They don't stay stuck in the sky. And the sky is ultimately what I'm inviting you to focus on, which is the state inside of you that is not moving and is always here. And you do not need to invest with your thoughts, let alone identify with those, but just stand present to how you feel, allowing for your sitting bones to fall back and down, for the weight of the upper body to take you forward and down, and for your spine to be extended a little bit more through each of your inhales and released through each of your exhales. We'll stay here for just 3 more breaths, taking the time to really release sensations into the shoulders and to the neck. If you feel like your neck is maybe a little bit restricted or it hurts, feel free to look from side to side. You don't have to open the eyes to do this. Just roll onto your forehead. And all together, coming back into an unmoving position if you've been moving. And on your next inhale, pressing yourselves up, back into all four. Transitioning at your own pace. If you feel like staying a little bit longer into this pose, feel free to pause the video and stay a little bit longer. Otherwise, left leg comes in between your hands. We come back on top of the tip of the fingers. Same thing, allowing for the left knee to push forward, for the hips to release down. So feel free to step a little higher with your front foot. It wants to be in line with your front with the hands. And this way I can really sink down with my hips. Nice. Whenever you feel like your knee is going above your toes, it's an indication to step forward a little bit with your foot. Stand here for 3 breaths, releasing the hips down. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, but present to what is happening now. Last breath. Nice, and very gently coming back to a square pose, allowing for the left knee to come close to the right knee, for both knees to come onto one edge of your mat and to sit on your sitting bones. In your own time, we're going to set ourselves up for 2 poses that we'd like to get into. For this, you'll need a bolster. If you do not have a bolster, you can grab a big cushion, and you'll need 2 blocks. If you don't have those, feel free to take some books. And you're going to take your bolster, allow for this bolster to come all the way up behind your sitting bones. And just for a moment, you can lift your pelvis up, lift your hips up, place the block onto your lower back, and then allow for both knees to bend into the chest. Release arms alongside body. If you feel the desire to extend the legs up, feel free to do so. But ultimately, it's about cultivating introspection. It's about cultivating rest and digest. And so it helps to bring everything back close to us to, once again, invite this energy of cooling down, feeling safe, feeling connected to the self, to be released throughout of the body. And therefore, this also allows us to fall asleep better, knowing that we're safe, knowing that we have our backs, and that we've simply worked on releasing tensions or limitations throughout your body. Stand there for 3 more breaths. Slowly, slowly, in your own time, if it's not already, extending the legs up. Bring in the arms alongside body, palm of the hands to face down. And you're simply going to allow for the feet to take you back, to come in direction of the back of the room, bending the knees into the face, closing down the knees. I mean, you're imagining that your knees are like headphones, and you want to bring them close to your ears. With one of your hands, releasing the block, the bolster, or the book to the side. And in your own time, using the hands, we're going to unroll the spine back onto our mat. Keeping your knees bent, put the feet down. Take a moment to press on your forearm and your elbows and making your way back up into a seat. Good job. In your own time, grabbing your blocks. Setting yourself up for the last pose of the day, which is Supta Baddha Konasana. And it's actually a pose, if you followed my class, if you followed the other videos, that I really enjoyed to get bodies into it because it actually feels so great. So what you want to be using is your bolster. Your bolster is going to be in line with your spine behind you. Feel free to grab extra support if you have a very long spine, to place at the top of your structure. And when you have this, grab your blocks or your book, place it close to your outer thighs so it supports the hips, and slowly, slowly rolling down onto the bolster. Feel free to readjust if you need to have your head just a little bit higher in order to be looking down with your chin in the direction of the chest and not looking up. Feel free to press the hips up, press your sitting bones and glutes in the direction of the front of your mat, and then placing it back down, creating space and ease throughout your spine. Taking a moment to open the heart, once again investing into trust, investing into openness, into sensibility, which are all things that we disconnect from whenever we feel that we're afraid, that we need to be active, that the stress mode takes over us. We disconnect from the feeling of being open, of trusting, of being secured and safe. And so these are all little feelings that you want to reawaken within yourself, so you can literally allow your body to fall asleep, because there is nothing to do and nothing to fear. Staying in this position however long feels great for you. And whenever you want to come down and out of the pose, take in the time that you need in order to make your transition out of the pose. I would recommend you bring your chin to the chest first, slowly using your hands to bring the knees together and making yourself back up into a seat. Hopefully the sequence will allow you to fall asleep quicker and faster and allow you to feel great when you wake up in the morning. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this little sequence. Feel free to drink a little bit of water after this and have a good night's sleep. Feel free to tune into the rest of our videos for more and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed what we share. I am Ilo from PlayPausebe, and I'm very happy to have flown with you today. Thank you.